All right, so here we go. Somebody said they had some issues with last night or a problem, so let's go ahead and see if we can take care of that. Algebra. Okay. Which one do we have to look at? Somebody said 8. Can we just add those? What? 6. So if x was 41, then y was what? 32 is what I got. Is that right? All right, now let's look at 6. All right, so on this you had to cross multiply, right? Did you look at the other notes, right? So you would say 3n plus 6 equals 2d. Do you agree with that? Then when I cross multiply the other side, I get d minus 1 equals 2n. You agree with that? So to me, I could just say d equals 2n plus 1. Plug in right there. You agree with that? So 3n plus 6 equals 2 parentheses 2n plus 1. 3n plus 6 equals 4n plus 2. So n is equal to 4. And if n is equal to 4, d is equal to 9. The original fraction then would be what? 4 over 9. Very good? What? Really? You just want to check your work. You can easily check your work by saying 21 plus 15 is 36. 21 minus 15 is 6. What? Well, what? Oh, yeah, that's a typo, guys. That's find the number. Right? Find the numbers. Yeah, thank you for that. I didn't pay attention. Find the numbers. Find the numbers. All right, let's move on. Okay? All right. So we're on 11. So those of you guys who paid attention yesterday, somebody start setting up the first equation, AC. Q plus D equals 38. Perfect. All right, now the hard part. Give it a shot. I don't think that's what that means. What do you think? Do you think that's what that means? If she had twice as many quarters, right? There would be $11. But that's still including the what? That's still including the dimes, right? Yeah, okay. So I had a bad day typing, sorry. Or my secretary did, sorry. Yes. Okay. I need a second equation. Brady, help us out. Shh. Is not an answer. Garbage. That is garbage. Bo, help us out. Shh, listen to this, please. The not garbage.
The dollar sign is for four. Yeah.
Go.
Is it 2Q equals 11?
Oh, no.
Help us out, Mr. Wilson.
Q plus B times Q equals 11.
Watson, thank you. Tell everybody. What? Watson, come on. All right. AC knows everything. Go.
2Q plus 2 equals 11.
Drew.
No solution.
I could have used that in the game yesterday.
You didn't even get to play.
They should have played according to that shot right there. What?
Parallel lines. I think I know.
This is not the comedy club.
I think I got it, Mr. Shout.
If she has twice as many quarters, so I'm going to double the amount of quarters, right? So we can put 2Q down. That's safe.
Is it?
Now, plus D equals,
48.
now, 11 is money. This right here is quantity. I've got to convert the quantity to money.
I was going to say that.
No, you weren't. No, you were not. It's easy to say now. So it would be what? This, I would want you to tell me, is the amount of quarters. So if I want to convert that to money, I would multiply by 0.25. Why do you think I left the space? Because I'm going to put 0.1, right? Because a dime is 1/10 of a dollar. You're welcome for that information. All right. So now we're going to do 0.5Q plus 0.1D equals 11. Now, how do I solve this? Someone tell me what the rule is. What do I have to do to solve this system of equations? Brady, I'm not calling on you anymore. You give me like 3 wrong answers already.
But this is the
No, it's not. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not. Really? Go ahead, Stauffer. What can we do then?
I think you can multiply by point negative.
Yes, that would be my advice. All right, multiply this by negative 0.1. And then that would eliminate the what? The dimes. All right, that's your homework for tonight. All right, solve number 11. Finish solving number 11. All right, it's better to set them up for you.
I'm okay with that.
All right, everybody take a look at 12. Look how much fun 12 is.
Yeah. Jesus,
Here we go. All right, the first equation. Tell me.
O equals C plus 30.
What? Okay, so that's why we don't do O for Olivia, right? We're going to call Olivia L. So Olivia, use O then. Go ahead, use O. All right?
I will. I'll use
You do that.
But doesn't O look like a 1? Yeah, that looks like a 1. Okay, so.
That's going to be a long day and a lot of homework. So, Olivia has how much?
31 to call.
So what equation would that be?
L minus 30.
Tell them. Yes. L equals C plus 30. Okay, now I need you to read carefully the next part. And listen, I'm trying to tell you something. Try to be a little bit more serious now. It's getting a little bit harder. All right? If all you're doing is writing down my answers, you're making a big mistake. You should try to write the second equation. Try to write the second equation and see how good you did. All right? Even if it's just one little part. All right? Try to read it carefully. Give you 30 seconds. I'll let you finish. All right, the second equation is going to be go. That's exactly correct. Although, is it really necessary to have the parentheses? The reason why it's not necessary to have the parentheses is because there's no multiplication involved. So it simply says if each had $7 less. So right now, Olivia has L dollars. So if she had $7 less, she would have what? She would have L minus 7. Shh. It said if they would each have $7 less. So that means Carl would have what? C minus 7 also. And then it says what? The sum. So plus would be the same as what? L. That's that. All right. Now this one is kind of tricky. All right. So I want you to take a look at that. It's not anything different. That's what it is. That's the translation. That's what I want you to have down. All right. So now, with that information, I would want you to simplify. I would want you to simplify. So if I simplify minus 7 minus 7. So L plus C minus 14 is equal to L, which is actually real good for us. This makes the problem actually real easy. Because what happens to the L's? Yeah, they can just cancel out. So you just have C minus 14 equals what? Which means Carl started with $14. Don't tell me to wait. Just watch. Just watch. There's nothing I can do. All right? I'm asking you, try to be a little bit more serious. Try to stay more focused because the more I get done in class, the less you have for tonight. All right? I wanted to solve this one out. So Carl has what? 14. So that means Olivia would have what? 44. Now what I want to do is I'm trying to show you something. All right? I want to know if that's true or not. All right? So I think that's the answer. All right? Because right now, Olivia has 30 more than Carl. Does everybody agree? Now, if I take 7 from each person, that would give me 37 for L. And Carl would have what? And if I add them together, that's how much what? Yes, there you go. That's how easy it is to check your work on these things. All right, now, again, on the test, I don't like guessing and checking. All right, I'm trying to show you a process. That's why sometimes I have to make the problems harder so you can't, some of you are very good with numbers. It'd be easier for you to just think that you can solve all the problems by guessing and checking and manipulating things in your head. You cannot. This is too important. The thing that is important is that I'm teaching you how to set up the equations. That's why I'm telling you, try. Everyone's got to try to write the equations. All right, I promise you, you will get better at it. All right, but if you never try and all you do is write down my answers, it's like anything else. It's not helping you. Write down. Give it your best shot. All right, here we go. Let's look at 13. Now, we've already done this problem, so this should be relatively easy. So I'm going to let Brady do this one since it's an easy one.
So
Okay, now you feel better about yourself. I'm glad. All right, so give me all those wrong answers. Yes, sir. I don't want the answer. All right, that's what you're doing tonight for homework. All right? So, again, 13 is real simple, right? You're just adding them together. It should take you seconds to do. All right. Charlie, you go ahead and do 14, though. Equals what? Nope. Those are nickels and dimes. What are the nickels and dimes total? How many? 27. Again, because that's a quantity. I'd explained that to my last class. Everybody understand? Nickels plus dimes is a quantity. You have a certain amount of nickels and a certain amount of dimes. You add them together and you get how many coins? 27. Now the value, go. Now you're in business. Good job. All right, does everybody agree that's not that hard, right? Okay, so now, to solve this, what am I going to do? Multiply by negative 0.1. Somebody said negative 0.05. Does it matter? No. All right. And again, guys, be careful. All right, be careful with the decimals. All right, does anybody have any questions? All right, here we go. Now, number 15. All right, I want to say something now. Sometimes we can make the problem actually harder. Do all of them have to have two variables? No, they don't. All right, they can. All right, but they don't have to. All right, so here, what we're going to talk about right now, very important. So it says, the side of a square house is 24 feet long. All right, so I'm going to draw the square house, right? Everybody draw a square house. All right, so there's my square house. And it says that it is what? 24 feet, right? So in my opinion, you should put down 24, 24, okay? Now your house that you live in sits on a lot. Usually the lot is a what shape? Usually it's a rectangle. All right, your lot is generally not a square, it's a rectangle. All right, so I'm going to now put your house on a lot. All right, doesn't say where the house is on the lot. All right. All right. Now, it says here that the house is located on a lot which is 50 feet longer than it is wide. So right now what I want to do is I want to introduce a variable. If this right here, do we have any idea how much this is? So that's what? No, you're not listening. I don't know what that is, correct? So what variable is it? We can just call it 0. We call it x, right? Now, some of you are thinking, well, we're doing length and width, so can you call it L and W? Yeah, but I want to show you something I think is important. There is a direct relationship between those two, right? So if this is x, this other side would have to be what? You guys, you're not, some of you, that's what I'm saying, some of you are not listening to me. Is that the same?
Yes.
Is this distance right here, guys? Come on, man. You're not listening at all. Is that the same? No, it is not the same. First of all, we just had a conversation about your lot is usually a what? Rectangle, not a square. So how can it be the same? It can't. Plus, if you were reading with me, it says that the width is what? 50 feet what? Longer, right? So if one of them is x, the other one would be what? Thank you for listening. Right, it's really not that hard. One is x, the other one's going to be what? X plus 50. Can you put L and then maybe L equals W plus 50 or something like that? Does everybody agree? But again, it's a direct relationship. If one is x, the other one is what? X plus 50. Does everybody agree with that? So what's the perimeter of my lot? What would the perimeter of my lot be as an expression? Not as a number, but as an expression. What would it be?
4x plus 100.
Thank you very much. 4x plus 100. So the perimeter of my lot is 4x plus 100. Numerically, what is the value of my perimeter? Tell me. No, that's not a number. What? Definitely not 96. What is it? I'm not sure what you guys do. You have your calculator. Get your calculator out and tell me what it is. I'm not sure what you're waiting on. What is the perimeter of my lot? What does it say the perimeter is? 20 feet more than 5 times the perimeter of the house. You can figure that out. What is it? No, I don't think so. Hold on a minute. 96 times 5. I don't think so. What is it? 500. 500. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. How do we get 500? But I know some of you are sitting there just writing 500 down. This is the problem I'm having. I don't want you to say, oh yeah, that's good. He said 500, so I'm going with 500. How did he get 500? Or tell me how I got 500.
So, multiply 96.
How did I get 96?
You add up all the sides of the square.
That's right. The perimeter of the house is how much? 96. So the lot is what? Times 5 plus 20. That's what it is. I don't think that was that hard now. I really don't think that's that hard. And some of you are just waiting for the answer. And I'm not kidding you. I'm honest. I have people crying after they leave this test. Because you're going to have a test of 10 word problems and you have to figure them out. So if you're not trying, if you're just sitting there writing down the numbers as I'm going, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. That's what I'm saying. You have to practice. I want you to make mistakes. They're hard. But if all you're doing is writing things down as we go, it's not working. It won't work, I promise you. It will not work when you take the test. All right? So try right now. All right? Now, we can solve that easily, right? So there's no reason to solve that. We're going on to the next one. All right? Let's see what the next one says. All right, let me give you a second for that. Well, 30 seconds. And then I want someone who I haven't heard from today, take a chance. If you didn't make an A on the last test, I'm probably talking to you. You should be telling me what the equation is. Write it down. And you can see how close you are. I know, but every day I have an extra iPad. You're acting just like you're brand new to this classroom. You still don't have your shirt tucked in, right? You come in, you don't have your iPad, and you act like there's nothing you can do to solve the problem. Come on. Nothing's going to change for the next year and a half. Same thing. I don't care if you don't have your iPad. Figure it out, what to do. All right, who's going to write the equation? Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I don't listen. Hey, listen to me. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. I want you to be totally comfortable with telling me what you think the answer is, and I don't even care if it's wrong. And no one else does either. The only way you're going to get better is look at the problem, write something down, tell me what you know, and then we'll kind of go at it. So read it to me.
Okay, so I said A is 5 equals 2. That's the amount of money for the
All right, so let me write that down because that's true. Your adults cost what? $5, and the children cost $2. Okay, so now what are you going to tell me?
with the 6,100.
Is the money. Put your hands down. He's gonna nail this. It's the money. All right? So I gotta convert things to money. So what am I gonna do?
With the 1,820.
So so now listen to me. 1,820 represents what? No? What is I don't understand what that's right. So who's going? Who are the passes for? So that's it. Now, this is what I was trying to tell you. I'm trying to get you to understand this is exactly like what other problem? The quarters and dimes. Exactly right. It's the same problems as the quarters and dimes. All right? There are adult tickets and there are children's tickets. So now, finish it up. So I didn't hear you. 820 is equal to what? Or 1820 is equal to what? C plus A. All right? Now that's the quantity. Now I want the money.
Okay, so it would be 6,100 is equal to 1820 plus 30 times.
Wait a minute. What's a child worth?
Oh, how is this do that?
So?
Oh, so it'd be 2C plus 5A.
Yes, that is it, buddy. 2C plus 5A. Right? Because $2 and $5 represent the cost. That's it. That's how simple. Nothing to it. How many people went to the museum? They're either what? So C plus A is 1,820. Now each child paid how much? And each adult paid? And you brought in what? That's it. I'm trying to get you guys to understand that's the same as the coin problem. Do we agree? It's exactly the same as the coin problem. Except this time they're $2 coins and what? $5 coins. Right? Do we agree with that? All right, so now I can multiply the top equation by what? Multiply the top equation by -2. All right, so 17. Last one I'm going to set up. All right, someone else be brave. You think you got it? All right, let's hear it. What does E mean? What? Okay. So, that's what I think. Right? All right, I understand what you're saying. All right, bless you. So let's do. So tell me the equation now.
C plus I.
What does C stand for? And what does I stand for? So how many answers were there? So what's the equation? You good with that, right? You see what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to get you to understand there's quantity and there's value. Say it again. Now what's the other part? Wow. That wasn't that hard, right? Seriously, that wasn't that hard, right? I don't think so. Uh-oh, hold up. I made a mistake. Bo likes to correct me. Go. That's what I'm thinking. Positive points if you add them. Minus points if you lose them. You agree with that? Now I know what you're thinking, seriously. We could have put a plus, and then in parentheses would be negative I. You know what I mean? But again, that doesn't make sense, right? You're getting 15 points for correct, and you're losing 8 for incorrect. You agree with that? All right. Does everybody agree it's kind of the same now? If you're getting the hang of it, it's kind of the same. Uh-oh, I got problems up here.
How is it correct answer and an incorrect answer?
So it's kind of like what you did on your test. You got 8 wrong and 2 right. That would total 10 problems, right? So you count the number correct and the number of incorrect, and that adds up to the total number of questions. Okay, you do that. So you happy with that now? C plus I. The number of correct plus, there we go. That's what I was thinking too, bro. All right. The amount of minutes on the court and the amount of minutes off the court have to total 24. Right? 6-minute quarters, right? 6 times 4 today is 24. All right.
I've played more than that. I've played more than anyone.
All right. Those of you guys who've been on the court, I wouldn't brag. Right? I'm not sure. I thought the important part was W's and L's.
I'm 1 for 6. I'm just glad you're learning what I've played.